me ask you a question. When you hear the term therian, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? Unfortunately, you're probably going to think about masks and tails and quadrobics, which almost everyone does. Obviously, everyone has different views on therians. Most people would say, oh, it's the people that run around and act like animals. And then some people would be like, oh, it's people that identify as animals. Everyone just views it differently. But no one really focuses on the actual stuff behind being a therian that's not the quads and the masks and the tails. And of course that stuff is important too, because it brings enjoyment to us. It really helps with the dysphoria, and it's just overall really fun. But that is not what makes you a therian. So today I'm going to be talking about what being a therian is actually like on the inside. If this is the first time I've asked for it, make sure to like and subscribe. Let's get into this. So I actually want you to comment whether or not you watch the rest of this video right now. Just comment, what's the first thing that comes to your head when you think of therian? Like the first image that comes into your head, or the first word, or the best way to describe it to you. What comes into your head when you hear that word? Me personally, because of social media, I do immediately think of the trends. Whenever I don't have TikTok, but if I were to search up therian on TikTok, I guarantee I'm going to see someone doing jumps or room tour with me, and then have a bunch of naturey stuff. I don't know. I'm not making fun of anyone, by the way. But overall, being a therian is becoming a lot more of an aesthetic, I will say. I don't really know how to explain that, but I just feel like it's obviously, like I stated in my last video, it's becoming a trend, and I don't need to talk about that at all. But being a therian is very trendy, obviously, because it's cool. I mean, look at me, I'm just the coolest puppy ever. But all jokes aside, I'm not really going to be explaining the definition of a therian, because everyone views it differently. But I'm going to be talking about my personal experience and how it truly feels to actually be one. And I'll admit, I don't really like to call myself a therian, really. I don't feel like, I don't want to be part of a community or anything, because they're absolutely, it's becoming more toxic and not supportive. And, they just disagree with a lot of things that I do. So I just like to call myself someone who identifies as an animal rather than putting myself with a group. And while yes, I am a therian, because that's the only really group that I can identify with, I'm a furry too, obviously, but I actively identify as a dog, and unfortunately it's really hard to not call myself a therian and say I identify as a dog as well. So my identity is pretty confusing, so don't question it. Okay, so on to how being a therian actually feels. Now, what people see on the outside is, the trends, the masks, but in reality, being an actual genuine therian that has really bad species dysphoria is not fun. While it is nice to be able to behave like an animal in terms of doing quadrobics and stuff, it is really not nice to have to put up with the constant dysphoria. And then when I try to go to anyone that I trust about it, it's and don't get me wrong, there's a lot of people that support me, and I have some really close people that I can trust and go to. I'm just talking mainly about family. Literally none of my actual family would agree with me and support me, and only my mom really knows about me being a therian, and she completely disagrees with me identifying as a dog. So it's very, very difficult to actually enjoy myself in terms of acting how I want, because, well, clearly I have to act normal in a house setting when I'm not alone, and clearly I only make videos and live streams when I am alone, so I can fully be myself and upload. And actually my mom was planning on going through my YouTube channel and stuff, but I don't think she knows how to work YouTube very well, so I think I'm okay. So YouTube is really nice to have an escape and to talk to, and that's why I very much explain that I am not hating on other content creators. Like, I absolutely understand doing the trends because, because they're a lot of fun and they feel relatable because you can relate to these people. Like when I do quadrobics, first of all, I don't view it as a sport. I see it as just another way of walking because, I'm literally a dog, so I want to walk like a dog without judgment, so there's that. Now, I assume there's probably a lot of therians watching now, and if you are not a therian, I will go ahead and explain just, I've already explained it. It hurts, it sucks having like this animal spirit inside of you and all you have is a human body. It really sucks. It has a lot of dysphoria, just like gender dysphoria. You just feel like you're in the wrong body, and I think I specified in another video, I don't really support like the LGBTQ community, but I'll talk about that in another video. But I want to compare that to gender dysphoria, which is kind of why like I can kind of respect transgender people because I understand how they feel, but in a way I just can't relate to them at all. So that's very strange. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm running out of breath and I'm just struggling to explain right now because just the thought of not being able to express myself and having this dysphoria hurts, as you can tell. It really genuinely sucks. And it hurts even more when fake therians come on here and are like, oh, you can choose this and that, and it really just makes me dislike the community even more. It's not a community anymore. I have to go on my own now at this point and just I'm losing my mind. So for the simple answer, the best way I would describe being a therian is insanity, feeling like you're not in the right body, and just having those like animalistic urges, and sometimes they are pretty bad. Some people are like, you're invalid if you have violent shifts and stuff. In reality, they do happen. Most of my shifts are actually they're not violent per se, but all my shifts are very fox-like, and I honestly haven't had a fox-like shift in a while, let alone just a shift in general, but usually they're pretty physical. They're very I'm usually jumping or rolling around or just walking, and then these yipping sounds, they're just really crazy and usually wear me out afterwards. It's just really crazy. So overall, being a therian is not as easy as you'd think. It's seriously, people don't really actually talk about what it's truly like, and that is frustrating, but at the same time, it kind of allows me to come on here and explain myself a bit, and I'm terribly sorry. I am absolutely struggling to explain myself and how I feel. I apologize for that. I can't talk ever. So all that being said, you've just been educated. Hope you enjoyed yourself. Thank you guys for 6,900 subscribers. You guys are absolutely amazing. I just can't believe this. I seriously can't believe this. I remember when I hit 1K and I slowly made my way to 2K, and then you guys just blew me up ever since. So you guys are just awesome. Keep it up. Again, I hope to get my watch hours up, like I say in every other video. I haven't brought it up recently, but definitely keep my watch hours up. I'm pretty stressed. I've been pretty stressed lately, especially with my living situation, and I just got moved. So there's a lot of stress with that. It's wonderful, but there's a lot of stress with that. So I'm really hoping I can start making some money. I'm really hoping I can start making some money from YouTube as fast as I possibly can. So if you guys can help me out with that, it'd be much appreciated. I will stop yapping now. I hope y'all have a great day. Bye!